Let's quickly talk about dimensions real quick. Yeah, follow me for a sec. Just follow me for a sec. Follow me. So you're watching film. Your five senses are active. Your eyes, you're watching. If you've got subtitles, you're also reading the subtitles, right? And then you're listening, and then you're feeling the sound waves from you know from the speakers, etc. Well, when you see something on the film, that's and you know the smell of it, your smell sense will activate. The same way with your taste. So that's now six, right? If you read the subtitles, then if you add the mental realm, or what could happen in the next scene, what were they meaning in the previous scene, mental realm. Add the spiritual realm now. You've got your spiritual side activated. So now that you're just watching a film. That's 8 dimensions. You're in consciously, straight. So if you're spiritually aware and you have your ancestors with you, continue watching. Now my example of this is when I'm watching something by myself, right? It honestly doesn't feel like I'm watching it by myself. It doesn't feel like it. The conversations I'm having in my head don't correlate with those of someone watching a film by themselves. I kid you not, sometimes I even look to my left, I look to my right, for no reason. But then I remember, because my eyes can't see, like at the moment, they can't see like the spirits and all that stuff. They can't see it at the moment. I'm not trained enough. But I know when they're there. Like I can sense the vibration. I can sense it. Sometimes I'll just look. It's like a few seconds, you know what I'm saying? My two eyes don't see nothing. But my third eye, my mind's eye, I can see like a don't know how to explain it. It's very crazy. My point is, get to know yourself on a multi-dimensional level. In the physical world, your lineage. Go into yourself. Ask your ancestors who the fuck you are. Ask. They will tell you. They will represent. They'll come to you. But obviously, if this take time, practice, meditating, fasting. You feel me? I say get to know yourself on a multidimensional level because we are multidimensional beings. Our brain, our consciousness, it has its own dimensions. It's not just one consciousness. There's like levels to it. Literally. Some of y'all are just stuck on level one, like conscious wise. So knowing yourself multidimensionally, physically, spiritually, on a soul level, right? Physically, go internal. Ask your lineage who you are, where you come from. Cool, you done that. So now you know yourself on a physical level, in the physical plane. You know where you originated. Cool. I've been told to use myself as an example. So in the physical plane, I've been told I represent Shaka Zulu. I'm just suddenly tired. Sorry. Represent Shaka Zulu, and the way it wasn't just straightforward. It was like many years of just confusion and asking and just not knowing and just being confused. You know what I'm saying? And then I heard the name Shaka Zulu, right? Didn't know who he was. Just heard it. I just heard it a few times, but I didn't really look into it. I have to tell you about my spine injury. Just know at some point I was paralyzed, but I got through it without no medication, nothing. Just thumbed it, and wasn't able to play football. Wasn't able to do shit. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't do shit. Started to get some more spiritual. Got to know myself. Start reading, etc. And then now that you know yourself physically, right? Get to know your spirit. Get to know the protector of your soul, right? Why should you know this? Because if you know where your spirit comes from, where you know what I'm saying, it resides, you will know how to live your life. Like, straight up. Like, my example is when I was doing my meditation and asking where my spirit comes from, who do I represent on a spiritual level? Shiva came to me. You know what I'm saying? And then I went to read about him and think, you know what I'm saying, read about him, da 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 da. And I was like, shit. Yeah. I was like, cool. Represent Shiva in the spiritual realm. So like, yeah, spiritual realm. And I was like, cool. Now that I know where my spirit comes from, where I get my spiritual power and shit. Now that I know where it comes from, where does my soul comes from, right? The deity called Tahuti is who appeared to me. Some of you guys know him as Thoth. The Greeks knew him as Hermes Trismegistus, right? That's where my soul comes from, where it resides. And then I looked him up, I searched him up, right? And everything that he's into, everything that he writes about, has written about, over the last 10 years, I had just been reading it, and I didn't know who wrote it. I just been reading it, watching videos. I didn't even know. So like, when I found out the name and searched it, and I realized like, he's the one who wrote the Emerald Tablets. He's the one who wrote, well, basically where the Kybalion, like the teachings from that book come from. Like he wrote that. He's written he's written a lot. And I just find it really interesting that I'm also a writer. Like I have a blog that I write about mental, physical, and spiritual well-being. Right? This was all before like all of this came to me. So it's like I was just doing shit, and then I was like, what am I doing? Like, who fucking cares? And I'll stop. And then I've just been bombarded again with energy, with like messages and like sleepless nights, and it's like like my sleepless nights is because I'm conversing with my ancestors. Like I've assessed and looked back, and I was like, shit, all them sleepless nights. Like I remember the conversations I was having during those nights, meaning like I'm trying to sleep, but obviously my mind is going. The more I tried to stop it, the worse it got. So it got to a point I just let it be. And before you know it, start having conversation and things like that. You know what I'm saying? This happened a few times, I can't lie to you. Yeah, I would be like, yeah, be proper on it, be like, yeah, and believing, and I'll stop. And I'll stop doing everything, you know what I'm saying? Reading the text, I'll stop meditating as often, I'll stop blogging, you know what I'm saying? Because like the outside world is affecting me, you know what I'm saying? And each and every time, I kid you not, each and every time I stopped and I went back to my old ways, back into living the matrix life and mindset and things like that, my ancestors taught me a fucking lesson. This happened more than a few times. I mean, this is what I get for not listening and believing. I kid you not. And after like situations will happen, they'll come to me and be like, fucking told you. Fuck, why didn't you listen? I'll be like, I know, man. I fucked up. I should just listen to you. This is all happening in my head. I'm telling you, I live a supernatural life. And you wouldn't even know if I didn't tell you none of these experiences. Oh my gosh. This is why I'm encouraging you to know yourself on a multi-dimensional level. Because if you know yourself on a multi-dimensional level and you call upon your ancestors, bro, everywhere you go, they walk with you. I know for a fact, every time I step out that door, I got 3 ancestors with me. All the time. Sometimes I even forget. I kid you not, bro. Yo, I be dressing all plain Jane, bro. Plain Jane. Look at my head. It's not even, you know what I'm saying? Plain Jane. People be double looking and shit, bro. Yeah, they see the light. Why is being like this now? Because 10 years has been fucking hard, bro. Hard. And now that I know myself multi-dimensionally, bro, look at this smile on my face. I've reached a state of consciousness that fucking love life, bro. Anyway, take care of yourself mentally, physically, spiritually. Neo.